Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Soul Symphony. My name is Z. Thank you for tuning into my channel. I hope the information you find here helps you on your healing journey. If you're on one, if you're not on one, that's okay too. Just pass it along to whoever might need it. So today I'll go over scarcity mentality or scarcity mindset. Now, scarcity mindset or mentality is a type of mental block. It's a type of mental block that stops us from actually thinking larger, I would say, a larger horizon when it comes to opportunities, when it comes to money, love, so many different opportunities, time, um, just to be able to see from far, actually to see from far. So it kind of limits our insight. It kind of limits our abilities to see far away, to see far in the future where certain things can lead us, especially when it comes to love, money, and time. So we stay stuck in the mindset that there's not enough for everybody, or there's not enough opportunities that we will be able to get if we invest in a certain direction. So we stay stuck in a mindset that whatever we have, that's all it is. There is no more, no less. But there's more of less if we decide to actually invest that. So therefore, we tend to want to hold on too tight. So when it comes to love, we tend to hold on too tight. When it comes to money, we tend to love on too tight, hold on too tight. We do not want to invest that money. We do not want to put that money into certain opportunities, especially when it comes to investments, right? Stock market, for example, is one big one that people who have scarcity mindset, they think that if they invest $1,000 in the stock market, that there will not be other opportunities for them to get $1,000 back. But they don't see beyond the veil. They don't see beyond actually where they stand, that that investment of $1,000, yes, there is a chance that you might lose that $1,000, but there's also a chance that that $1,000 can become $10,000 or can become $100,000 in 10 years, right? So we don't really see that. We stay stuck in this mindset that there's not enough opportunities, or everything that we have, that's all it is, that it cannot really expand beyond what we cannot see. We stay stuck on only things that we have certainty about. If we don't have certainty about it, therefore we do not want to invest in it. We have to have a certain certainty that if I put in $1,000 in this stock market, it will turn out 1,000. It will turn out 10 times more. If I put $100,000, well, that's, if I might not get $100,000 out of it if I invest that $1,000. So we stay stuck in this mindset of losing. So with that mindset, actually, is one of the biggest reasons that we lose certain opportunities. That mindset of staying hyper focused on immediate, short term, I would say short term, immediate reward. It's more like a reward base most of the time, a reward base, to be able to see that the rewards that we have are actually within our reach. It's not something that is far reach, in a far, I would say, in a far reach from us. We do not have the ability to see that. We stay stuck in the mindset that any and everything that we will get, with it should be, is only within really our reach. That's it. We don't see far beyond. We don't see that. So to be able to just be able to get out of that mindset usually opens up doors, opens up opportunities, and open up to so many different things that we can work toward to actually better our lives in love, when it comes to money, when it comes to jobs, when it comes to even time, even simple things as going to on vacation, right? So if we have, like, let's say 10 days out of the year for vacation. So most people that are in that kind of mindset will say, oh, if I take 2 days off, then I don't know when I'll be able to actually get more time for vacation. So I'm not just going to take any vacation. So what does that do? That will actually lead us to burnout. Well, even though we do not see that, hey, if we take that vacation, actually what we will come back with is we'll come back more rested. We'll come back with more opportunities to produce, to be more productive, right, at our job, and make more money if we work for ourselves. Because when we rest, we can have better decisions. Better decision making lead us to more productivity, right? So we don't see it that way. We see it more like, oh, if I take time off work, then I will not have any more time for vacation, right? So that's kind of a scarcity mindset. We don't see really where it can lead us in a positive direction by taking that time. We see only what we will be lacking by taking that time off. We'll be lacking more time. We will be lacking more time off by using that time. We don't see it more like the positive side of things, that if we use that time, actually there is something way greater than just those 2 3 days that we're using. There is actually the other parts of things, the way it produces at the end of the day, that is way more important than just taking those 2 or 3 days out of our vacation days, right? So we have to kind of be mindful of that, to not just be stuck in that. And another thing is also being in a relationship. For example, when it comes to love relationships, right? Romantic relationships, we can be stuck in one person, be stuck with one person for years and years and years. For the fear, sometimes scarcity mindset is also fear based, because we have the fear that by releasing what we have, we will never get more, we will never get better. So we don't see, again, we don't see that the horizon, the long term benefit outweighs the current immediate reward that we have. We don't see that when we have scarcity mindset. We get stuck on holding on to what we have because we don't have any certainty that what we will have in the future is actually better than what we have currently. So therefore we hold on to it. We have hard time taking the leap of faith. We don't just, most of the time also, if we're people, we someone who have faith in a higher power, have faith in, the universe working a certain way, right? We are more likely to see it as, okay, certain things we don't have control over. All we have to do is release. Once we release, sometimes bigger and better things tend to come into our lives. Because again, I was talking to someone not very long ago. I saw that in an article I was reading. If we look at there's an experiment called the marshmallow experiment. The marshmallow experiment, they are children, young children. I believe they were around 4 years old, 3 4 years old, or 5 years old maybe, right? They gave them a marshmallow, several of them, they gave them a marshmallow, and then they told them, if you eat that marshmallow, you have the choice to eat that marshmallow right away. And if you eat that marshmallow, then you good, that's it. But then if you wait 10 more minutes or so, they put a time slot on it. Like if you eat that marshmallow within X amount of minutes, if you hold on to it within X amount of minutes, then you will get another one. You will double it, right? Some children actually ate it right away. And then some children waited and then had another one. And then they followed those same children. Many years later, they realized that the children who actually hold on to their marshmallow for a couple more minutes, those children actually had more fulfilling lives, better jobs, better relationships, with their spouses or girlfriends, more romantic, I would say, in a romantic sense. And then because they tend to understand the concept at early age, that if I just wait a little bit more and not eat it right away, I will be able to actually get another one, right? But in the sense that they understood that that was the best thing to do. Now, the ones that did not want to wait, right, because they could not see far out, they could not see far that, oh, if I say I'm going to hold on to it, I don't know what will happen. They probably will come and take it away. They probably will not give me another one, right? They did not see far out to see that actually they will get a second one. Even though they told them, they did not have that certainty that that second marshmallow will come over time. So they ate that marshmallow right away, right? And therefore they did not receive that second one. And so sometimes, again, understanding that what we have at the current moment, to have the faith that even when we don't see it, right, the way it's supposed to happen, it will happen. If we're supposed to release what we have, especially in love, if we were supposed to release that person we're with, that for so many years, we know for a fact that that relationship is not working. That relationship is an abusive relationship. That relationship is not allowing us to grow. That relationship is stunting any and every opportunities to come our way. That relationship is not really for the betterment of ourselves. So we understand, because there will be signs, there will be many, 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 many signs. And I understand this in the sense that me personally, I went through that, right? That I have seen so many, many, many signs over the years, but I did not really consider, or I did not actually see myself, because I saw more like the investment. Hey, I invested so many years in this relationship. I don't think it's a good idea to exit. So by doing that, again, I'm holding myself back. I don't see that investment. Of course, I invested, but that investment was also a learning opportunity that allowed me to learn so many different things. And therefore, when it's time to release that relationship, to just be okay releasing it, right? So I did not really see it that way. I saw it more like, oh, I invested so much. I'm not sure what will happen in the future. Therefore, I'm just going to go ahead and hold on. I'll go ahead and try my very best. I'll go ahead and be there. I'll go ahead and just be present. So by doing that, we stop ourselves from all the opportunities actually coming in our lives. But by doing that, we stop a better relationship coming in our life. By doing that, we stop so many different things when it comes to only love in this case, right? In this case, we stop ourselves. We hinder our own progress by holding on so much to certain things. Now, patience is a virtue, is 100% a virtue, but sometimes we have to be patient enough to see certain things and to see them for what they are. And then once we see what they are, it's up to us to understand that there is better. It cannot be worse. It can only get better. If we already hit the bottom of the bucket, right, all the way to the bottom, there's no more to go. There's only, we're already at the bottom, so there's nowhere else to go but up. So we have to kind of see it in that sense, that scarcity mindset is a mindset that can hold us back. It can stop us from progress, because by not seeing, by not being able to release or to let go of what's holding us back, because of the fear of not knowing the future, of not knowing, not having the certainty of what will come next, right? We stop ourselves from receiving what's coming next, because we cannot see the future doesn't mean that there's nothing better in the future, right? And sometimes the best thing we can do is take the leap of faith, especially when we are in certain negative situations. So that's just an example for when it comes to romantic relationships. When it comes to platonic relationships, it's something similar too. If we have a friend who's always negative, who's always talking and negative, if we bring up to them something, we like, hey, I have this idea, I would like to do ABCD, I have this idea, I would like to create a business, or I have this idea, I would like to go to school and study for this and this and this. And that friend is always telling, oh, you think that, you sure that's a good idea? Maybe you should just wait, maybe you should just not do nothing yet. Maybe you should do more research, because you don't know, if you start now, that thing might not just work out the way you think. And sometimes friends like that, again, those are the type of friends that we got to let go. If we do not have friends, people on our sides that are there to uplift us, right, and only point out the negative side of things, right, that those are the kind of people also who keep us in that self-doubt mindset. Self-doubt mindset, fear of letting go what we have to try to go toward possible better opportunities, right? So opportunities that are possibly better than what we have, especially when it comes to career, when it comes to education, right? If we have people on our side that are always giving us that self-doubt, they're always steering in us the self-doubt. Those are not the kind of people that we need around us to ask, or to ask advice from, or to even bring up to them our ideas. Sometimes it's not even about advice, it's just to have someone to share what you have on your mind. But if people like that we have on our side or around us, they're not really on our side, they're around us, and they're always bringing that doubt in us, right, and stopping us from progressing in life. Those are the kind of people that we do not need around us, because again, if they're not on our side, then they shouldn't be around us. because the whole point is to be able to uplift each other, right? To also have a, sometimes in friendship, it's not the only reason to have a friend, right? But some of the benefits of having a friend, I think, in my opinion, is to be able to talk to a friend about certain things and kind of just bouncing ideas off each other, positively bouncing, not always in a negative. Yeah, sometimes you need that person in your corner that will tell you things how they are without sugarcoating it, telling you, hey, what you're doing is not okay. So you need to go ahead and just knock that nonsense and make sure that you're doing it the right way, right? We all need that person on our end, but we don't need that person around us who's always belittling our ideas, always trying to put that self doubt in us, right? To stop us from progressing in life. We don't need that. So on the platonic side, and when it comes to an example, for example, just to kind of go a little bit, touch money, job, relationships, right? When it comes to money, we can have a job and we can be in that job for like 20 years, right? And we never get promoted, we never get a raise, and if we do, it's a couple cents over the dollar, right? And we just pinching pennies at the end of every month, living paycheck to paycheck, right? And then the fear of letting go of that job to try to go and find another job, right, can stop us, because we can think in our mind, when we have scarcity mindset, we can think that letting go of that job is will stop us from receiving that paycheck every month. Instead of seeing it as letting go of that job, let's go ahead and make a plan. Let me go ahead and find another job that will actually pay better, like when it comes to hourly wage or even salary, right? Hourly wage, salary wage, or that will actually provide a better healthcare insurance, or depending on what kind of benefits they are. So we have to kind of shop around to see what's best for us. And then decide from there, let me go ahead and apply for a couple of jobs. And once I get that new job, then I'll go ahead and leave this job. But again, in order for us to even get to that point, we have to be able to see a little bit farther than what we are. We have to be able to break out of that box that is boxing our mind into thinking that we cannot have better. We cannot do better. We can only have what we have, right? And not trying to seek better opportunities, not trying to see or go farther than where we are. So we have to be able to have that mindset. We have to break out of it in order for us to even be able to say that, to say, hey, I need to go ahead and find a better job, because a better job is a better opportunity when it comes to finances, when it comes to financial stability, when it comes to also all the benefits like healthcare and all that stuff, right? That comes with it, all the benefits that come with it. So we have to be mindful of that it's not only a money thing, it's also all the things that come with it, because our mindset determines how far we go in life. That's just the sad reality. Our mindset determines how far we go in life. And there are many studies that actually show that children who grew up in poverty have a higher level of scarcity mindset than people who grew up in a certain household that are more financially stable. Like, I would not say you have to have millions of dollars, right? But it's more like to understand that opportunities are everywhere. And when we grow up in a household where there's poverty and we don't even know that what our meal will be the next day, we tend to cherish what we have right away, but not only cherishing it, but not want to let it go, not want to see other opportunities, because we don't think there will be other opportunities, because all we know is what we have, right? We don't see farther. We don't tend, it's a mindset. Unfortunately, it's a mindset, right? Now, also sometimes it's cultural, because there are other cultures that certain countries, I would say certain cultures, I would say even certain countries in general and culturally too, that scarcity mindset is not really a thing. It doesn't matter how poor people are, people know that there's better out there. Now, it's just a matter of time until they actually put their walk toward that better opportunity, right? That, and then they can also figure out how to put those stepping stools those stepping stools the way they're supposed to get to that better opportunity. Because not only better opportunities are there, but it takes certain steps to get to them, right? They don't just fall in our lap. We have to take certain steps to get to them. But when we have scarcity mindset, we don't even see the possibility of those steps. We don't even see that we're capable to actually initiate those steps and to go all the way through those steps to get to that opportunity. That's not even something that's feasible in our mind when we have scarcity mindset. So we have to be mindful. Now, it's something that we learn at home. It's not something that just fall out of nowhere. It's something that we learn from home. And also be mindful of what we see around our children, because I have experience when I was, I would not say when I was growing up, because in my household, really, we didn't have that issue, right? But growing up, even though we had so many different issues, but we did not have that specific issues. But I have seen people that I have known that mindset of telling children, money doesn't grow on trees. Money doesn't grow on trees, right? So that makes children think, oh, well, money doesn't grow on trees, so let me make sure that I hold on to what I got. I cannot really go around just spending. I cannot just go around investing. I cannot just go around, splurging is different. But when it comes to putting the money where it's supposed to be, where it's supposed to grow, right, in a positive way, that's different. Or investing in our education is another thing too. I have heard people saying, college is not for me because nobody in my household went to college. Nobody in my family went to college because college is so expensive. It's not for everyone. My family, we don't do college because that's a lot of money we don't have. And if you look, again, if you decide to go to college nowadays, there's so many things through FAFSA. FAFSA will pay all the way to a bachelor's degree. They will pay. We don't have to pay a dime out of our pocket. Of course, it depends also the taxes. But if we live already in a certain tax bracket, it's automatic that we will qualify to have our schooling paid for through FAFSA, through grants, right? FAFSA grants or federal grants, I would say. So because those opportunities are there, but we have to, again, search for them. They don't just fall in our laps. But if we have a scarcity mindset, thinking that college is not for everybody, I cannot go to college because it's so much money, because it's so much this, so much that, we don't even look at that there are possibilities to go to college actually to get it paid for, right? Not only do you get your college paid for, you can actually get money remaining from the tuition payment coming to your pocket every month for all the things like food, shelter, gas, all the little things, expenses that go with being a student, right? And also you have so many merit scholarships. You have so many different things out there that, again, when we have scarcity mindset, we do not see the possibilities. We just tend to stay in our bubble and thinking that there's nothing else besides what we know, right? So we have to be able to understand that breaking out of that is actually a great, great, great idea. The shift of mindset is very vital. The shift of mindset. And then also I would say common signs when we have scarcity mindset is difficulty of resting. We can have actually difficulty of resting. Sometimes it can be even anxiety about money, financial anxiety. That's a real thing, right? Not knowing how financially we'll be able to take care of ourselves in a month or 2 months, especially if we are in between jobs, right? That's something that financial anxiety is a real thing. Being able to hoarding money is a one thing. Some people have money, but they will act like, I don't have a dime. Don't talk to me. I don't have a dime. Don't talk to me. But then you go and you look, you like, oh, you got all this money. But hoarding is not only about money, it's about wanting to keep everything when it comes to clothes, when it comes to shoes, even trash bags. Some people will be like, oh, I'm not throwing that. Something that's supposed to be in the trash, they will keep it. Now, there's a TV show actually called Hoarders. If you have a chance to watch it, you should watch that because it's a psychological thing. Now, sometimes it's linked to trauma, but most of the time, that's scarcity mindset. We don't want to throw nothing because we don't want to have to need it and not have it, right? Once we need it, we have to make sure that we have it, but we don't see it as, well, when I need it, I will get it then, right? Instead of saying, no, I have to have it any and every time, I have to have it. So hoarding is literally a thing when it comes to scarcity mindset. We hoarding trash, hoarding clothes, hoarding shoes, hoarding comes with any and everything. It's not only nice things. Some people hoard nice things like jewelry or right cars or whatever else, right? Or shoes or but some people hoard even trash. That's how deep sometimes it can go psychologically that we do not want to get rid of nothing because we are scared that once we need it, we will not have it in our disposal, right? So we do not dispose of anything. We hold on to it, right? So and also comparing things, constantly measuring your success against other people. That's another thing too that we can get into that trap of always comparing ourselves, like, oh look, they have that, I don't, I have this, they don't, right? So that's another thing. That's also what brings envy and jealousy, right? So it's kind of again a domino effect. Sometimes one thing is not just isolated when it comes to healing, when it comes to our traumatic events, our traumatic wounds, it's not isolated. Most of the time, they come in pairs and triplets and quadruplets and so on, right? So they come in many, many different things. One wound comes with another one, that comes with another one, and so on. So scarcity mindset doesn't only come with holding on to things, right? It comes with fears. It comes with anxiety. It can come with also comparison, envy, jealousy. So making sure that we understand that once we get to a certain level in our healing journey, we have to be mindful of those things, that it's not only one thing. So once we heal certain things, usually we have a better understanding of what we need to work on. Now, how to shift that mindset is not very hard, honestly. It's first of all, again, is awareness. That's the number one thing. Awareness. Being aware that we even do it. If we understand that we even do it, and when we start comparing ourselves and always thinking, and also one of the biggest things is when we comparing ourselves to other people, is that we tend to compare their success to ours and thinking that they're lucky. Oh, you are so lucky, or they are so lucky. They didn't have to probably put too much work to get there because it takes so much work to be a doctor, or it takes so much work to be a lawyer, or it takes so much work to have that house or that car. It takes so much work. They must be lucky. They must have a silver spoon. They must be fed, with a silver spoon growing up. No, we do not know what people went through to get to where they are. So that's the biggest thing to avoid, is to compare ourselves to other people's, especially when it comes to accomplishment. We do not know what they went through, especially the tangible things. Now, we do not know what they went through. They probably went into several illegal things to get those things, right? We don't know. Or somebody that they really, 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 really loved passed away and left them an inheritance, right? So is that inheritance worth the person's that who passed away's life? In my case, I would say absolutely not. Some people might think, yeah, of course it does. But in my case, I would say absolutely not, right? It's not worth it. No amount of money is worth somebody's life, right? But at the end of the day, we do not know what they went through to actually obtain what they have that we can see tangibly. Tangible things we do not know. And even physically, somebody who goes, for example, to the gym, right? They get up every day at 5 o'clock in the morning. They go to the gym. They spend 2 hours every morning to the gym. And then we see them 3 months later, right? They're well fit. They have these big, muscles and all that. They're well fit and chisels, right? And then we look at them and we be like, I wonder, they probably didn't do too much work, to get that kind of body, right? But we didn't see the backstory. We did not see that they were waking up for 3 months every day, going to the gym 3 months every day at 5 o'clock in the morning while we were in our bed snoring. We did not see that part. We only saw them at the beach, walking around with a nice, I guess, muscular body, and think, or well fit body, and think, oh, look at that. They probably didn't put too much work into that, or if it's a female, right? We don't know, or we might think, oh, they went and they got plastic surgery or this and that. And then we talking about something we have no idea how they actually obtain it. We don't know how much work they put in it. We don't know how much they have to sweat they put in it. We don't. So when it comes to that, the comparison trap is a real thing when it comes to scarcity mindset. Comparison trap. We fall into that trap of comparing other people and not knowing really what they went through. And that keep us stuck because instead of figuring out our own path, our own way of obtaining what we want, right? We get stuck spending so much time and energy into investigating, into trying to know what other people are doing, how they're doing it, why they're doing it, right? Instead of figuring out, oh, they oh, that's so nice, and then figuring out, do we want to actually look like that? If you want to look like that, research and see what do you need to do to actually have, your body in a certain way, right? And research in your own way and figuring out if you want to get a car like that, research, hey, do I need a better job? Do I need to see maybe my finances need to improve, maybe this, maybe that. So we need to sit down and inwardly go inward and see our own situation and find solutions to our own situation instead of comparing ourselves to other people, because that's a lot of energy and time wasted, right? Instead of putting it in ourselves to better ourselves, right? So in practicing gratitude, just being able to tell ourselves we don't have much, but I am grateful for what I have, and I do not mind working toward having better. I do not mind doing the work. I do not mind looking at myself and see what needs to be improved and what improvements I need to do, and looking at the steps to do those improvements to get to where I need to get to. So gratitude is one of the biggest things we can practice when it comes to scarcity mindset, because when we are stuck in scarcity mindset, most of the time we don't see that we have enough. Instead of seeing it as what we have at the moment is what we have. However, we can work toward having better or having more if we decide to have more. And being grateful with what we have at the moment is a great attitude to have, right? And then auditing our thoughts. When it comes to auditing our thoughts, again, is to avoid saying, I cannot afford that. I cannot do that. This is only for them, but I'm not able to do that. This is only for rich people. This is only for a certain ethnicity or certain type of people. I'm not one of those people. So that it's putting limitations on ourselves. So those thought processes that always put limitations on ourselves, that, oh, this isn't, I don't have enough time to do this. I don't have enough energy, or I don't have enough money. I don't have enough of whatever that is. Just to be able to understand that if they did it, I can do it too if I decide to do it, right? Without falling into the trap of comparison, those comparison traps, without falling into it. Just to be able to make sure that we retain our own identity, not trying to do it just because somebody else did it, right? So therefore we kind of lose our identity into somebody else and by doing that. And then also use our resources. There are plenty of resources out there, like I was giving the example for FAFSA. There are plenty of resources, right? Name it, there are. So the only thing is to just be mindful that there are resources. If we want to be healthier, there are resources. If we want to be, I don't know, we want to go to school, higher our education, there are resources. If we want to get ourselves like healthier, there are resources. Whatever it is that we want to do and obtain and accomplish, there are resources out there. We just have to be mindful and have an open mind to even understand that there are resources, because most of the time when we are stuck into that mindset of I cannot afford this, or I cannot do that, or this is only for certain people or certain ethnicities, or college is not for me, or this or that, then we put ourselves in a limited belief mindset. We limit our mindset to one small box when there is so much out there outside of that box. But it's our choice to stay in that little box. It's our choice to sustain our mindset. It's our choice to keep our thought processes into that small box. It's our choice, right? Resources are out there. We just have to make sure that we actually acknowledge that they're out there, and not only acknowledging, but to actually start the process of researching what resources are specifically for our case, whatever case that might be. If it's for health, if it's for housing, if it's for, I don't know, education, if it's for healing, if it's for whatever it is, there are resources. Just for us to start the process of seeking those resources, that's what matters. Okay. So I'll go ahead and stop it right here. So until then, I will make sure that I say this every video. Please, please, please take care of yourself. Make sure that you do your daily routine, your meditation, yoga. Make sure that you have enough sleep, eat healthy, keep our thought process in check, not to always slip into that negative thought process, that negativity loop. Keeping people around us who are positive so that we bounce positivity of each other. We uplift each other. Not having people who are around us always to just stir up those negative thoughts, stir up those negative no those that negativity, stir up the wounding, the trauma that we already have already. We don't need nobody to amplify it. So we need to make sure that we have people around us who are actually helping us in our healing journey, but just by being present in a positive way, that will help us in our healing journey, not aggravate what we already working to heal, right? And then making sure that we stay active, do our walks, our if, treadmill or gym, or making sure that we also eat again, sleep, all the good things that we do on a daily basis. Therapy, keep up with it. If we're doing therapy, individual or group therapy, whatever it is that we're doing, look up resources, making sure that we look up resources for different things that we might work on. If we have, anxiety, depression, and our insurance, we don't have the means to actually have a psychiatrist, because not all insurances actually cover mental health, not in that sense, even though even if they cover is very minimal. So just looking up all the resources, there are free resources out there for mental health. So there are so many different things. There are resources. We just have to be mindful that they even exist and then research them as we need them. Okay. All right, I'll go ahead and stop here for today. Until next time, please, please, please take care of yourself. Okay. All right. Bye. Bye bye.